everyone, and welcome to the Weekend Stock Talk for December 20th. Before we get started today, I do want to wish everyone a happy holidays and Merry Christmas from both me and our team at smarttrades, and really hoping that everyone had a great investment year this year compared to last year. Last year, as you can see, we obviously caved into a capitulation low, but this year we recovered all that and actually much more. This move, net move, currently where we stand right now this year is almost a 30% move to the upside. Okay, I think it's around 29.5 or 29.6% gains on the S&P 500. This is just SPY alone this year. So hopefully you're having a great year. And you know, compared to last year, even if we looked at the peak of last year to where we are now, we're certainly breaking out towards the upside. And this is just the start from what we can see, because we can see a higher high pattern, a higher low pattern, a false breakdown, and now we're breaking out. We're just starting to break out. This is a very bullish chart pattern. So a lot of you might be wondering, what is this red line here that I've had for a while? So the red line is a projected move. Remember, our team, our group, we do projections on things like natural gas, crude oil, broad markets, and of course gold and other commodities if members request it. Projected moves such as this red line is the long-term trend. It's not going to be influenced by some move towards the 20-period moving average or the 50-period moving average, because it's looking through long-term price action and still projected to move higher right now. So overall, this continues to be a very bullish chart pattern. Here's your light blue line, or the 20-period moving average. We talked about how bears would need to shift the hourly time frame in order for them to have any chance at the daily time frame. They were unable to shift the hourly time frame. We're above all of our moving averages. We're above the 200 as well, obviously. Here's the 200-period moving average. When we're above the lowest moving average, it's a positive sign. So the trend continues to be higher. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking, okay, maybe we're a little bit extended in the short term. What can we expect if the market moves lower? You always have to think about this very carefully, because what bears would like to do is project very large moves as if they're going to copy and paste these sort of moves into what might happen at the start of next year. You can't do that, obviously, right? You need the candles to develop in order for that to happen. So if we get a big down move, okay, that would shift our short-term perception to bearish. Without such a move, you have to think about the magnitude of the move. Maybe the magnitude of the move would just only be a 1.4% down move towards 20-period moving average. Maybe it's something a little bit more lengthy towards a 50-period moving average, okay? But right now, even if we come down, as you can see, it won't be the end of the world, because the trend is persistently to the upside, with us just recently breaking out, okay? So I don't think there's anything else to be said here. Until something changes, the market still looks bullish on the chart. Enjoy the holidays. All right, looking at TVIX tracking volatility. So here is TVIX. We've talked about a series of lower highs throughout the entire year. Let me just zoom in for you this year. Series of lower highs, series of lower lows, made a new all-time low today. Is this a pattern of reversal, or is this a pattern of continuation to the downside? Answer, continuation to the downside. You got it. And therefore, this will continue to move lower. So markets continue looking bullish. Let's talk about ES, or the S&P 500 futures. So we did a poll a couple weeks back that asked, where do you think SPY or ES will close by the end of the year? So we're getting pretty darn close towards the end of the year. We're 1.5 weeks out, okay, approximately towards the end of the year and the start of 2020. And we have some very close values. So we have a person who said 3,250, I believe, somewhere around here. And another person who said 3,200. We're so far in between these two values. The group mind, which is the light blue line here, takes account the average of all the responses that were posted on the YouTube comment section on those days. Okay, so the average is still around 3145, but we have two values up here, so it's going to be very interesting who comes the closest by the end of the year. All right, so let's take a look at one of our closed trades from our group, that is INSG. So our group closed this yesterday on 12/19. You can see a list of our recently closed trades on our website. So the link is on the bottom left of your screen or in the description box on your screen. But we closed INSG yesterday for a 31.5% gain in a little over 2 months. So you can see our entry to our exit point. So here is INSG. It was a very good technical pattern in my opinion. Again, this is just tickers to watch. You don't obviously have to go into it, but these are stuff that I notice that I find favorable. I put it onto the group's list, and if members are interested, they can obviously take a look at it further. If they're not, obviously they can move on. But here we are. So here is the big up move, and then we had a consolidation for a good period of this year. And then we finally broke out of its bull flag pattern towards the upside. You can see this clear on the monthly time frame. So here's INSG on the monthly. Here's your pull, followed by pretty much a yearly consolidation towards your light blue line or the 20-period moving average. And then finally a breakout towards the upside. So again, it's a very good technical pattern for INSG. Short term, it might be in for a little bit of volatility, which is why we closed the trade. But overall, it's pretty decent how in 2.5 months, it's a good 30+% trade. Now, just note that not every trade will be positive, right? So far, because market conditions continue to be favorable and conducive towards the bullish side of trading, we haven't closed that many trades, right? We kind of talked about this in the past. If you look at our list online, we had 1 closed trade so far this month. We had 3 closed trades last month. And the reason is we have 20 plus tickers on our list right now currently. If market conditions are favorable, we're making our single digit gains into double digit percentage gains over time, right? This is called investing. We don't have to trade the hourly. If you're good at trading hourly or on the minute time frame, then by all means do it. But if you're investing consistently into quality tickers, then you can hold it for weeks or months, and you should be able to see a nice return over a period of time. So yeah, INSG was taken out yesterday, and today we had a replacement ticker. So if you're interested in joining our group, feel free to take a look at our website. Maybe if you want to contact me and if you have any questions about the group, feel free to contact me. There's a contact form on the website as well. Let me know. All right, so we're going to go to your comments from the last video. And once again, I appreciate everyone watching this video. If you make a comment on one of my videos, do you know what's going to happen? If it's a question or a comment, I'm going to mention it in the next video, and I'll tackle whatever you point out. So continue making comments. I love to hear your comments. I love to reply to them and analyze your charts. All right, thanks for a bit about CCI. Long on SD. I too see support at 131. I'm waiting for the bulls to take it. I think, yeah, we talked about this chart pattern in the past. There's CCI. So we talked about this, right? We talked about CCI down here, and now we're up here. So overall, you can see the big move above all of our moving averages, and now it's taking off to the upside. I think oil's interesting right now, especially ones in European markets that are so beaten down and cheap. What do you think of BP from a technical perspective? Let's take a look. It's definitely bearish for the year, but it made a lower low and has a ton of upside if the bottom is indeed in. Okay, let's take a look. So here's the thing. I agree that if the bottom is indeed in, then yes, I agree that this has good upside potential. Okay, so if we drag this maybe towards $43, maybe you can make a 13% off of this. So you have to monitor this a couple of ways, right? In the past, we're looking at weekly BP. You can see when we get wedged in, so this is weeks upon weeks of a wedge. Can you see this wedge pattern here? We eventually resolve that to the upside, right? This week we broke out and we continued higher for a good chunk of time. So right now, currently, you can see another consolidation pattern currently. Now, the reason why I don't really like this chart right now is because while sure, there is a profit potential to the upside, maybe 22%, it's not that well defined. And by that, I just mean, here's your high. Obviously, you can see all these lower highs, lower high, lower high, lower high. And the inability to make a higher high on the weekly time frame really shows that the profit potential is limited currently. So it's not my preference. I think what you're looking at is this low here and it's higher low. But you have to imagine if this even resolves to the upside, how long would that take? Okay, so that would be a patience perspective. And what if this just continues making a wedge, you know, maybe into 2020, and it just kind of moves back and forth, is that something you would be interested in over time? I don't know. That's up to you. So it's not my favorite type of chart pattern because the way it moves is not too conducive towards better profit margins, in my opinion, but that's up to you. So once again, thank you everyone for watching this video. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful holiday. Merry Christmas. And I will talk to everyone soon if anything else new develops.